our debate is on that the drinking age for alcohol should be lowered. I'm arguing the affirmative, and she's the wrong side. Okay, so, alright, so you see a sign that says, no trespassing, don't enter. What do? Just walk on and be a good citizen? No, heck no. You go right into where it says don't go in. Like, if the sign wasn't there, you'd be like, oh, I don't care what's behind that wall. But because it says don't go there, you're like, well, what's behind that wall? And you go back there anyway. But that's the same thing with alcohol. For people who are 18, between 21, like, we had prohibition when they were, like, back in the 1920s. They banned it, and that made people want to do it more. It forced people into underground places, and it made it more unsafe. Your turn.
Alright. Doesn't that concerning their age group is currently the highest mortality rate? Well, you want to know why? Poor decisions. Influenced by what? Alcohol. The minimum legal drinking age of 21, which I will refer to as 21 MLDA, is critical to the safety of all U.S. citizens based on both physical and psychological research. Alcohol use has been a topic of dispute for many, many years, and yet somehow it seems to only get worse. It is an issue that needs to end and that just needs to be accepted. The legal drinking age should not be lowered due to statistical evidence suggesting drinking at a younger age affects brain development and causes low life expectancy rates.
Okay, so at age 18, people can perform basically every other kind of adult task. They can vote, they can adopt a child, they can get a puppy, which is like slightly better. They can get a tattoo, they can buy alcohol, they can smoke. And smoking, tobacco and smoking and tattoos are permanent kind of things that can affect you for life. And alcohol is kind of the same way. Like, tattoos are forever, alcohol can affect your system forever, and smoking, like, that gives you cancer. Like, how is that worse than alcohol? And so, like, my question is, why do they let kids who are 18 buy tobacco and have a higher risk of getting cancer than alcohol, which is, like, not as much in that kind of way? Also, there is, like, no proof in certain places that alcohol affects the mind any differently at 18 than it would at 21. So the forbidden fruit makes people want to do it more. It's like considered forbidden because you want to do it. It's that whole trespassing sign. So because it's forbidden, people want to do it more. So we should make it allowed to do it unless people would do it. It'd be less interesting.
Alright, albeit the drinking age has been in question for some time now and has raised multiple concerns as to whether its effectiveness is starting to wear off or is ever even a usable solution. However, the drinking age being set to 21 has no more raised questions than any other action taken. In fact, prior to passing the National Minimum Drinking Age Act in 1984, Congress was notioned to address the fact that teenage car accidents had significantly increased where the age limit was below 21 years of age. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services reported that, quote, after all states adopted an age 21 MLDA, drinking during the previous month among persons aged 18 to 20 years declined from 59% in 1985 to 40% in 1991. Furthermore, it was reported that, quote, drinking among people aged 21 to 25 also declined significantly from 70% in 1985 to 56% in 1991. The drinking age may be quite controversial among citizens, but the age 21 MLDA is recommended by top organizations, including the American Academy of Pediatrics, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, National Prevention Council, and the National Academy of Sciences.
Okay. So according to a doctor from Indiana College, she said that those that are under the age of 21 are more likely to be binge drinkers, which means they consume more than 5 drinks of alcohol per week. Among drinkers, only 32% are underage compared to 24% that are legal age are actually binge drinkers and unsafe drinking levels. Kids who drink illegally and become sick rarely seek professional medical attention because for fear of being abused or looked down on, gotten consequences. So instead they seek home remedies or they try to sleep it off, which causes even more issues because sleeping it off could actually entail death and they might die from sleeping it off. People who see their friend drunk and like not looking good, they won't talk to him either for fear of association and getting in trouble in that way for repercussions. So allowing students to drink alcohol in controlled and supervised environments, such as a restaurant, would promote good drinking behaviors. They could watch good role models and learn how to drink responsibly. when they're 18, people say that if they're allowed to drink at 18, they'll supply alcohol to schools, proms, after proms, dances. So a way to help this is wait till they're graduated from high school. To prove they're graduated from high school, they have to carry around their diploma, their graduate diploma. I mean, come on, if you want to drink alcohol, carry around a tiny piece of paper, fold it up, stick with your ID that you have to show anyway, show your graduate diploma, or wait till you're 19 if you're lazy. Like, if you don't want alcohol that bad, don't get your diploma. You can order like copies of it from your high school. It's not that hard. According to procon.org, 136 college and university presidents signed a pledge stating that the MLDA of 21 is not advantageous.
Every foundational principle based on morality and ethics has expressed the importance of cause and effect scenarios. In the case of making choices, the phrase, just one more drink, can lead to a lifetime of alcohol dependency. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, quote, excessive drinking contributes to more than 4,300 deaths among people below the age of 21 in the U.S. each year. In addition, drinking wine, for example, has been part of the ancient cultures for thousands of years, but this action was a vital contributor to the low survival rates. Historical evidence states that ancient children who drank wine drank it mostly diluted, but the effects were just as great because it prompted them to drink it more, undiluted, as they grew older. According to DUI Central, quote, children who begin drinking at a young age are 7 times more likely to be in an alcohol-related crash. Furthermore, the University of Rochester has proven that, quote, the rational part of a teen's brain isn't fully developed and won't be until age 25 or so. In fact, recent research has found that the adult and teen brains work differently. Adults think with the prefrontal cortex, or the brain's rational part. This age group is by no surprise the highest in mortality rates. One of the problems with teenagers is that most of the time they do not, or are incapable of, identifying long-term consequences. According to Jennifer Grass, an employee for the organization Career Builder, quote, a new survey from Career Builder found that 51% of employers who researched job candidates on social media said they found content that caused them to not hire the candidate, up from 43% in 2013 and 34% in 2012. You don't want to be unemployed at the age of 30 just because of one crazy night you had with your friends.
So according to the same doctor from Indiana, research from the 1980s to present time show a decrease in drinking and driving instances since the MLDA 21 was instituted. However, this cannot be completely attributed to the whole fact that it became 21 because the decrease began 2 years before the law was even passed. Other factors played into the decrease of the DUI accidents, such as education about DUI, designated driver programs, seatbelt usage, airbag usage, and safer automobiles, and lower speed limits, free taxi services to and from drinking establishments. So the fact that the MLDA 21 was instituted was not the sole reason for the lower DUI instances accidents. Unfortunately, while there was a decrease in motor crashes due to drinking, there was an increase of other alcohol-related college incidences, such as just in the span of 5 years, students who cut classes due to drinking increased to 12%. Students who were missed classes due to hangovers were 28%, and people who got lower grades because they were drunk moved to 7%. This was all possible due to underground drinking. In countries where the MLDA is 18, there's a lower account of DUI and drunkenness. In France, there is 29% of people. In Germany, there's a 9%. Israel is 3%. And America is 31%. We have the highest rate of increased drinking incidences and driving, along with other issues with driving and incidences with drinking. So, even they have lower instances, and their drinking age is 18.
Alright, the most common question asked for those who are in support of the 18 MLDA is, why is the drinking age 21 if the age of independence is considered 18? Well, first of all the rights that one receives once they reach 18, except for the use of tobacco and smoking, do not involve any physical health risks. The rational decisions required for, say, voting versus drinking is a big difference. Drinking could potentially be life-threatening for both you and others. No one gets hurt based on who you choose to vote for. Now, focusing on the age of smoking, this is one of the opposing side's most defensive evidence. Smoking is health-related, is it not? Well, yes, but 1, it does not affect the people around you unless it involves peer pressure. 2, brain functioning is not impaired. And 3, your lungs are grown, per se, and lung cancer is the only effect of smoking over a long period of time. Secondhand smokers may even take longer for adverse effects to occur, but only if exposed to secondhand smoking constantly and over many years. However, drinking can impair a person almost instantly and could also cause cirrhosis of the liver and potential brain issues such as Alzheimer's, dementia, or the incapacity to make tough decisions later on in life because of the brain's premature status at age 18 or younger. I digress. My point is, yes, legal smoking is age 18, but its effects on yourself and others is incomparable to what could happen if people handle alcohol irresponsibly. One scenario, which is indeed possible, includes 4 friends with one as a designated driver. Driving home, they get into an argument and the passenger, totally intoxicated, becomes very aggressive. Suddenly they jerk the wheel and they all crash. That person is the only one to survive. Imagine how you would feel if you were that person and you just found out that you were responsible for the deaths of your 3 friends. I urge you to think logically about the health, moral, and ethical aspects as to why the drinking age is at a higher level than all other rights given to an adult.
Okay, so prohibition for students between 18 to 21 needs to end. It will help end binge drinking. It will help remove the forbidden fruit tactic, or people who just want to rebel against the rules just because they want to. And 18 MLDA will align alcohol consumption with military enlistment. So military enlistment, you're allowed to apply to the military, the Air Force, the Army at age 18. You can go and you can risk your life for your country. Some even die in there at age 19, 18. But when you come back, like if you come back at 19, you still can't drink alcohol. So when you're 18, you can go die for your country, but you can't drink in it. Like, what's up with that? So if it remains where it is, these illegal drinkers who are still drinking are still gonna do it. They're just gonna go underground and do it. They just won't seek help for it. So we need to remove the thrill of breaking the law, and because they're gonna do it anyway, it's not helping anything to have it be illegal. So unless the enforcement of the law is going to increase, like punish people or have a higher increase of law enforcement for people who are illegally drinking, then the MLDA needs to change. Since I don't see the enforcement changing anytime soon, the MLDA needs to.
Looking at the bigger picture, there is no doubt that raising the drinking age to 21 years of age has decreased the number of alcohol-related fatalities among our age group, just as it has in the past, significantly. The issues surrounding this hot topic are so controversial that nothing is getting done. Alcoholism has shown to cause depression, anxiety attacks, multiple types of cancer, seizures, nerve damage, suicide, abuse, you name it. It is not rational to even suggest that drinking age be lowered if all these factors are results of it. Lead author Dr. Jurgen Rem, director of the University of Toronto Center for Addiction and Mental Health Institute for Mental Health Policy and Research, states, quote, "The bottom line is that the more you drink, the higher chances of dying, either from dementia-related causes or from alcohol-related conditions like cancer." There's a paradoxical phrasing, the older you get, the wiser you get. That is why adults constantly say, I wish I didn't do that in college. So think about it. There are laws and guidelines for a reason. Your body could snap under the pressure without warning. Is one night satisfaction really worth your life? Do you want to crack open the cold one with the boys while one of them lays in their grave? You decide.